Welcome back to the Dad Chronicle. I'm your host, Alex Albisu. This is episode 148. Getting your toddler to sleep at night is certainly a challenge. If you are the parent of a young child, you know the trials and tribulations that come along with trying to get your kid to just go to bed. So today I had a friend of ours. Her name is Michele. I had her join me to talk about a new fun kids book that she wrote that talks all about going to sleep. It's called Everybody Goes Night Night. We talk about why it's important to get your kids used to sleeping through the night at the right age.
I know every kid is different, right? So maybe it won't work with everyone, but my kids generally 95% of the time sleep through the night.
We talk about some reasons why kids might have trouble with wanting to go to sleep in the first place.
There's this big idea of FOMO at night for kids. So they might think that they're the only ones that are doing this.
And finally, we talk about the book she wrote and the benefits you can get from reading it with your young child.
I like how it kind of takes you through each step in the ages, and everyone can benefit from it.
Here's my conversation with children's book author Michele. Michele, welcome to the Dad Chronicle. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm good.
It's so great to have you here. Thank you for being on the show. We've got a fun thing that we're going to plug. We know somebody who authored a book here. This is fun. Yeah. This is so cool. So really great to talk about that, the benefits of some of that, especially for young kids. But before we do that, let's take a moment to get to know you. So why don't you introduce yourself to the world out there?
Yes, I'm Lisa. I am a mother of two boys. My oldest is going to be 4 in a few weeks. And then I have another son who is just over a year and a half. So
Very
I'm in it.
Ages. Oh my God.
In it. And we grew up in New York, actually. So that's kind of where we're from. We've been in the area for, I would say, I think it's been over 10 years now. So our kids are born and raised in the same place, which is nice. And yeah, so I kind of thought this idea up for this book, just kind of at home with our experiences.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm sure you can understand, right?
Oh, yeah. You know, this whole topic, and the name of your book?
Everybody Goes Night Night.
Everybody Goes Night Night.
Yes.
The topic of getting kids to go to sleep, that challenge, not even just a topic, but that challenge, is something that is really prevalent for parents, especially with younger kids. What was your experience with your two kids? I'm curious if you had a similar sort of situation that Deanna and I had, but yeah, let me know.
It's a fight.
Oh, yeah.
Every night. I would say with our youngest, since he's still fairly little, so still in a crib, which makes it easier because they're not, jumping out of bed all the time. We did sleep train both of them.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So talk us through what sleep training was for you guys.
Mostly cry it out.
Okay. Yeah, we did a similar thing. So yeah.
Yes. We followed some strategies of, the popping in at certain times while they're crying, but there were certain times where we just said, we're just going to let them cry.
How hard was that for you guys?
It was hard at different times, I would say.
Yeah.
I think it was probably more difficult for my husband.
It was really hard for me too.
Yeah.
That's actually really interesting because usually like you think of the mom as being like the sensitive one, just like the typical stereotypical thing. But I had my very first panic attack in my life listening to Arya scream in her room.
Yeah.
As a baby.
Yes.
Because we were doing the cry it out method and we were, watching the time. And I just remember just like gripping my bed sheets. Deanna was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Oh God, no, I'm not."
Yeah.
How did your husband handle it?
I mean, I think it was hard, but I mean, we got through it, right?
Yeah.
But also to note, I I think with both kids, he gets a lot of paternity leave, which is great. So I took my like about 4 months, and then he took 4 months after. So he was home for a while, and we did the sleep training while he was off. So he was the one during the week that would do most of the nights.
Yeah.
Doing that, and then the weekends I would help out as well. So it kind of, we had a pretty good system, but I think for me, the sleep part, I felt strongly about the sleep part. And
why? What was so strong for you, like feeling that way?
I think a couple of things. One, I'm a really light sleeper.
Yeah, me too.
And I knew that I wouldn't do well with kids in our bed, kids up at night. Like, I'm still the one, if someone starts crying, like, I wake up, I hear it right away. So I knew that I just wouldn't do well with it. Like, I need my space when I sleep, the quiet. And second, I do believe in the strategies behind it. I've read a lot when we first had kids, and I just believe in it. I know every kid is different, right? So maybe it won't work with everyone, but my kids generally 95% of the time sleep through the night.
That's great.
It doesn't make the bedtime easy, but through the night,
and I'm curious for you, like along with some of the cried out methods, which I'm sure a lot of folks listening to this are familiar with. What other approaches did you take with getting your kids ready for that full night of sleep?
I mean, I also believe that it is good to be consistent, right?
Yeah.
So like doing bath every night, we read every night, and then we'll sing until they let us. Like, our 4-year-old like doesn't want us to sing anymore most of the time. There was one time where one night he was just like, I don't want that. Please stop. And we're like, oh, okay, this is
isn't
it.
That sad though? Isn't that sad? Like, when you hit I've said it on the show before, but like, parenting is kind of it's the first of many lasts, like, for a lot of things. So it's like the last time that you lay your baby in the crib. There will be a last time for that.
Right.
Like, we were talking about, like, kids walking to and from school. Like, there's going to be a time where the kids don't get escorted to school because they're old enough. And it's like, there's going to be a last one of those.
Yep.
Does that come into the psychology for you at all? Or are you just like in the thick of it?
I know. I feel like a horrible person, but
no,
some of that stuff like doesn't bother me. I think with the more baby years, like the first year, like that, I look back at like photos and videos, and I'm like, oh my god,
and that's when it happens.
Them. Yeah,
that's when it happens, because in the thick of it, I didn't feel it with the kids. It's more like reflecting back, hearing about like your experiences with your kids, and some of my friends with younger kids. It's like, oh, I miss that, just like, but there's also going to be a whole lot of new things.
Right.
So now you're at a point where both boys are sleeping through the night?
Yes. Unless, I would say, our youngest he has tubes in his ears for like ear infection. So whenever that starts, he could be up in the middle of the night. And then our oldest would be, sometimes he will get up in the middle, like 2 a.m. It's very short lived though. It could be like 15 minutes and he's pretty good going back. But,
that's good.
But there's always phases, right? Like we did the training, but then there would be phases where there'd be a week where they would be up every night and stuff. So it's definitely not always perfect, but I think we set a good foundation, at least at a young age. So
it's super important, that consistency that you talked about, building a foundation. Absolutely. And I remember any little deviation from Aria's plan would like set her off, and she was so hard to get back to sleep.
Yeah.
There were times where Deanna and I would be like one of us, whoever was cradling her, rocking her in her little, like the little rocking chair that we had in her nursery, and we had to keep emotion going like back and forth as we were trying to slowly place her down into her
Yes,
crib
I've done that many nights.
and just kind of rock her in her crib. And God forbid you just do the smallest little inconsistency there, it set her off.
Yep.
So there's, oh my gosh, sleep is such a tricky thing. And I know a lot of parents listening to this, especially babies, might be listening to this while they're trying to get their kid to sleep at 2 a.m. Talk to us about your inspiration for the book and where you just wanted to write a kid's book.
Yeah. So on the topic of like fighting bedtime, right? So our oldest in the midst of fighting, I would say like ages 2 and 3. Like I said earlier, like you probably know, you just start saying things or like singing certain things or reciting things. So there was a time where we kept naming people in our life to be like, oh, daddy goes night night, like while we're changing, putting on pajamas, taking a bath, right? And we'd start asking questions too, like, oh, does Nana go night night? And he'd answer, and then we'd keep naming everyone, right? So that so he would recognize that it's not just him going to bed. And I think that's where like the deeper inspiration too is that there's this big idea of FOMO at night for kids. So they might think that they're the only ones that are doing this, right? That, they might watch mom and dad clean up the kitchen or doing other things. Like, well, you're not going to bed, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. So one night when we were saying this, I was like, wow, this would be a really good book. And then from there, I said, I'm going to see what it takes to do this.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time in the beginning was just research on how to do it.
Yeah.
What to do, how to do it, what form is it going to be in, how much is this going to cost me, and then things kind of snowballed from there.
That's amazing. And how do you go about finding the artist? The art in the book is so cute. Like,
yes,
it's
you.
adorable. Like,
yeah.
Did you know this person before you worked with them, or?
No, I didn't. So there's a website called Readsy. There's a few. It's like a freelancer site.
Oh, okay.
So you go on there and you go through a proposal basically. So you put out what you need and what the project is, and then people can bid on it.
Oh, okay.
And you can, like, I looked through portfolios to see what style I wanted, and you kind of match up with someone. And then from there, you accept a bid, and then they start on the work.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so from idea to actual, like, it's a book in your hand, how long did that process take?
It was about a year, I think, when I saw a sample in, like, physically in my hands.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And then I believe I posted it out onto my social media after like at the 14-month mark.
Oh, okay.
So a little over a year from start to finish.
And was being an author like something that you've always wanted on your resume, or?
Not necessarily, no, but digging a little deeper, I think it came at a time where I wasn't really sure what I was going to do next. I had been at my job and for a few years, like 8-9 years. So it was just like, what's next? Am I going to stay here? Am I going to do something else? Like, I felt kind of unmotivated, and we're always at home. We're always like throwing around business ideas, for fun. And then when this came up, when I started on it, it gave me this sense of like, creative freedom. And all of a sudden I was like happier in my full-time job, which it like had nothing to do with each other, but I felt, I felt good doing something that I could say I started and finished, and I did it for myself, and it was a really good experience for that.
That's amazing. It's a similar sort of boat with what I do here with this show. It's like having some kind of a creative outlet.
Yes.
Are you naturally like a creative person, or did this just kind of, was this like manifested, or?
You know what's funny is I've always said I'm not a creative person.
Yeah.
Like even in my job, there's opportunities to be creative, and I've never been that person. I'm more like an executor, right? Like I'm really good at planning and making things happen. But before that, like usually people will come up with the idea and then I'm like, I'm going to make this happen. So it was cool to kind of get that experience. Like, wow, I can be that creative person in this world at least. So yeah.
That's awesome. Good for you for stretching,
Thanks, yeah.
that creative muscle. I think it's something that everybody has inside of them, and it's a good opportunity to find your little thing that you can be creative with, whatever that might be.
Right.
Exercise is good for the soul.
Yes.
And as you think about this book, I mean, it's all very simple. It's definitely set up for young toddlers and other things like that. What sort of things, when you wrote this book, do you want kids and parents to get out of it?
So one, like I mentioned before, it's showing them. So I'll say the reader as in the child.
Sure.
Showing them that everybody has their routine at night. They're settling down, they're winding down. We all need sleep, for health and for energy. And then for the parent, hopefully, they can enjoy that too, or have a little bit of help showing the reader that it's not just them. And one of the things I love too about this book is that it can cater to a lot of different ages, because one, if you have a newborn, right, or in that 0 to 3 months, the illustrations, like you said, they're very vibrant and they're large. So it's going to be great to look at. And then once they get a little bit older, maybe like after they're 1, they'll start connecting dots, start understanding what the book is actually saying. And then on the other end, if somebody is learning how to read, it's a great book because there's not a lot of words, it's repetitive, and a child can go in and easily start trying to read the words in the book. So I like how it kind of takes you through each step in the ages, and everyone can benefit from it.
And that's something that I really liked based on, thank you again for bringing over a copy of the book. I appreciate that. Of
course.
And signing it. That was so nice. And reading it and seeing how each page is set up, it is perfect for that phonic lesson that kids like Jake's age are starting to learn how to read, and like how to decipher different letters, the noises that they make, and associating kind of the subject matter that they see on the page, very image focused. Kids are very good at seeing a visual cue and naming it, and being able to now associate that with the word that they're seeing and the phonic behind it. So kudos on that.
Yeah,
I thought that was really good. It has reading always been something that's important to you?
Yes and no. It's funny, we were talking about sleeping was like my thing that I cared about, but actually my husband was very adamant about reading. And I think now that I have kids, I see it. Like I see the importance. Like I was never a reader myself prior to having kids, and now I went from reading 0 books a year to like maybe 10 now. So, but yeah, he was very like, we need to read every day to our kids. And he did, especially with our first. He read a lot, and then I started reading a lot to Julian as our oldest. And it's funny because I was thinking about this week before I came here, how Julian's speech is amazing. Like he started talking early. It happened overnight. And I think, like, is that because we've read so much to him? Like,
Oh, wow.
I know some people think, I'm not an expert, but there could be some science behind that of like, they're learning from the words, where it's like our second Miles, he, we were in the trenches trying to survive with 2 kids. So I wouldn't say we read as much during the day. And his speech is like progressing a little bit slower. So it always makes me think like maybe there is something to this. It's so important. Yeah.
It really might be. It's interesting to hear about your relationship with reading. It's very similar to what I've experienced. Deanna will read so many books a year, so many, and it's never been my thing. Up until recently, like I think having kids and you're reading a whole lot more, and you want to set an example for your kids as well, like. I've now found that who'd have thunk if you find books on topics that you would enjoy reading and it doesn't happen to need to be like Moby Dick, like you have to read in 10th grade high school literature class. You might actually develop a healthy habit of reading. And there's so much value in not just setting that example, but in doing that for your own cognitive abilities as you're getting older as an adult, and in setting that example. I think it's a great habit. So kudos on you guys doing that. I wanted to. You gave us an idea of like kind of high level what the book is about. It's about just setting. The way I see it, it's like your kids might be fussy about going to bed, realizing everybody's got a bit of a routine that they have to follow. They have to do their own thing. What is kind of the broad, like, can you give the listeners at home kind of an idea of what they would expect if they buy this book, like how many pages it is, like what the format kind of is. And then I would love the opportunity for you to just kind of talk about like where people can actually go and buy it, or see more information for themselves.
Yes. It is a board book. So it really caters to those young readers, very durable than a paperback or hardcover. And I did that on purpose, knowing that a lot of young readers would be handling it. It's about, I think it's cover to back cover 26 pages. But it's a good nighttime book because it is a quick read, but there's a lot of interactive pieces too throughout the pages, where you can kind of talk through what the people are doing. And then so I have it listed on my website. It's lmichelebooks.com. And
that's one L?
It's one L, yes.
For Michelle, yes.
lmichelebooks.com.
We'll have a link in that for that in the description for this show, in the show notes.
Perfect. So. Yeah. And then, you could purchase it right there. And if you want me to sign it, you can put that in the notes. Happy to sign it and ship it. And then I also do have it listed on Amazon as well. So we can share that link, or you can search the title and it should definitely pop up. And then it's funny, I don't think people realize this. Like, I am the shipper. So I have inventory at my house.
This is true small business mentality here.
Yeah, I laugh. Like, I had a customer, I was trying to help her out with like shipping expectations. And she was like, oh, but Amazon says it's going to be here in this many days. And I was like, Amazon is me. Like, I am Amazon shipping from my house. So it adds a little personal touch, and that's why I have the luxury to sign them and send them out to people. And there are certain zip codes that I've coded to be free delivery, so I can personally drop it off to anyone that's close nearby.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really nice. So again, just to make sure that we get the website for the listener, again, was
Michele with one L, books.com.
lmichelebooks.com.
Yes.
And do you have any social media or anything that people should follow? Or
not at this time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a next step
for
me. That's everything's been coming in stages. So Yeah, and if that does pop up soon, I will definitely share that with you. We can share that out.
Yeah, let's do that. And friends at home, go support a small business and do something fun for your kids. Do something fun for yourselves, because Lord knows us parents, we need a little bit of sleep.
Yes.
And this has been such a pleasure. I really appreciate you taking the time to come over and share a little bit of your story and share this book with us. I think it's so fun.
Of course. Thanks so much for having me. This was great.
Absolutely. Again, our guest has been Lisa Michele. Thank you again, Lisa, for being on the show. As a reminder, you can check out the book for yourself. It is lmichelebooks.com. That's Michelle with one L. And you can order the book there. And it is a great way to support a small business and a friend of ours who is very interested in doing more of this sort of thing. So if you've got young children, this is a great opportunity to buy a book that is going to help them and also potentially help you try to get that kid to go to bed in the first place. If you'd like to chime in on anything that we talked about today, you can email the Dad Chronicle podcast at gmail.com. And remember, you can subscribe to your favorite podcatcher by heading over to thedadchronicle.com. Just we're everywhere. I'm on all the things. So make sure you head over there if you want to listen to old episodes, anything else that we have talking to parenting experts or dads from around the world. Thank you again for listening. And remember, be good to yourself, be good to others out there, and we'll see you next time.
If you like this show, check out more great content at incastmedianetwork.com.